ISM Code, Chapter 9 of the Annex to the SOLAS Convention. International Safety Management Code. This is the management for the safe operation of ships. The purpose of this code is to provide an international standard for the safe management and operation of ships and for pollution prevention. This is made mandatory by the Chapter 9 of the Annex to the 1974 SOLAS Convention. Regulation 1. Definitions. International Safety Management, or ISM Code, means the International Management Code for the safe operation of ships and for pollution prevention. 2. Company means the owner of the ship or any other organization or person, such as the manager or the bareboat charterer, who has assumed the responsibility for operation of the ship from the owner of the ship and who, on assuming such responsibility, has agreed to take over all the duties and responsibilities imposed by the International Safety Management Code. 3. Oil tanker means a cargo ship constructed or adapted for the carriage in bulk of liquid cargoes of an inflammable nature. 4. Chemical tanker means a cargo ship constructed or adapted and used for the carriage in bulk of any liquid product listed in Chapter 17 of the International Bulk Chemical Code. 5. Gas carrier means a cargo ship constructed or adapted and used for the carriage in bulk of any liquefied gas or other products listed in Chapter 19 of the International Gas Carrier Code. 6. Bulk carrier means a ship which is constructed generally with single-deck topside tanks and hopper side tanks in cargo spaces and is intended primarily to carry dry cargo in bulk and includes such types as ore carriers and combination carriers. 7. Mobile Offshore Drilling Unit, MODU or MODU, means a vessel capable of engaging in drilling operations for the exploration for or exploitation of resources beneath the seabed, such as liquid or gaseous hydrocarbons, sulfur, or salt. 8. High-speed craft means a craft capable of a maximum speed in meters per second equal to or exceeding 3.7 delta raised to 0.1667, where delta is the volume of displacement corresponding to the design waterline, excluding craft, the hull of which is supported completely clear above the water surface in non-displacement mode by aerodynamic forces generated by ground effect. Regulation 2. Application. This chapter applies to ships regardless of the date of construction as follows. 1. Passenger ships including passenger high-speed craft not later than July 1998. 2. Oil tankers, chemical tankers, gas carriers, bulk carriers, and cargo high-speed craft of 500 gross tonnage and upwards, not later than July 1, 1998. And 3. Other cargo ships and mobile offshore drilling units of 500 gross tonnage and upwards, not later than July 1, 2002. This chapter does not apply to government-operated ships used for non-commercial purposes. Regulation 3. Safety Management Requirements. 1. The company and the ship shall comply with the requirements of the International Safety Management Code. For the purpose of this regulation, the requirements of the code shall be treated as mandatory. 2. The ship shall be operated by a company holding a document of compliance referred to in Regulation 4. Regulation 4. Certification. 1. A document of compliance shall be issued to every company which complies with the requirements of the International Safety Management Code. This document shall be issued by the administration, by an organization recognized by the administration, or at the request of the administration by another contracting government. 2. A copy of the document of compliance shall be kept on board the ship, in order that the master can produce it on request for verification. 3. A certificate, called a Safety Management Certificate, shall be issued to every ship by the administration or an organization recognized by the administration. The administration or organization recognized by it shall, before issuing the Safety Management Certificate, verify that the company and its shipboard management operate in accordance with the approved safety management system. Regulation 5. Maintenance of conditions. The safety management system shall be maintained in accordance with the provisions of the International Safety Management Code. Regulation 6. Verification and control. 1. The administration, another contracting government at the request of the administration, or an organization recognized by the administration, shall periodically verify the proper functioning of the ship's safety management system. 2. A ship required to hold a certificate issued pursuant to the provisions of Regulation 4.3 shall be subject to control in accordance with the provisions of Regulation 11/4. For this purpose, such certificate shall be treated as a certificate issued under Regulation 1/12 or 1/13. Parts of the ISM. Part A, Implementation, and Part B, Certification and Verification. Part A, Implementation. 1. General. 1.1. Definitions. The following definitions apply to Parts A and B of this code. 1.1.1 International Safety Management or ISM Code means the International Management Code for the safe operation of ships and for pollution prevention, as adopted by the Assembly, as may be amended by the organization. 1.1.2 Company means the owner of the ship or any other organization or such as the manager or the bareboat charterer who has assumed the responsibility for operation of the ship from the ship owner and who, on assuming such responsibility, has agreed to take over all duties and responsibility imposed by the code. 1.1.3 Administration means the government of the state whose flag the ship is entitled to fly. 1.1.4 Safety Management System means a structured and documented system enabling company personnel to implement effectively the company's safety and environmental protection policy. 1.1.5 Document of Compliance means a document issued to a company which complies with the requirements of this code. 1.1.6 Safety Management Certificate means a document issued to a ship which signifies that the company and its shipboard management operate in accordance with the approved safety management system. 1.1.7 Objective evidence means quantitative or qualitative information, records, or statements of fact pertaining to safety or to the existence and implementation of a safety management system element which is based on observation, measurement, or test and which can be verified. 1.1.8 Observation means a statement of fact made during a safety management audit and substantiated by objective evidence. 1.1.9 Non-conformity means an observed situation where objective evidence indicates the non-fulfillment of a specified requirement. 1.1.10 Major nonconformity means an identifiable deviation that poses a serious threat to the safety of personnel or the ship, or a serious risk to the environment that requires immediate corrective action, or the lack of effective and systematic implementation of a requirement of this code. 1.1.11 Anniversary date means the day and month of each year that corresponds to the date of expiry of the relevant document or certificate. 1.1.12 Convention means the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, 1974 as amended. Part A Implementation 1 General. 1.2 Objectives. 1.2.1 The objectives of the code are to ensure safety at sea, prevention of human injury or loss of life, and avoidance of the damage to the environment, in particular to the marine environment and to property. 1.2.2 Safety management objectives of the company should, inter alia, 1. Provide for safe practices in ship operation in a safe working environment. 2. Assess all identified risks to its ships, personnel, and the environment and establish appropriate safeguards. And 3. Continuously improve safety management skills of personnel ashore and aboard ships, including preparing for emergencies related both to safety and environmental protection. 1.2.3 The safety management system should ensure 1. Compliance with mandatory rules and regulations, and 2. That applicable codes, guidelines, and standards recommended by the organization, administrations, classification societies, and maritime industry organizations are taken into account. 1.3 Application. The requirements of this code may be applied to all ships. 1.4 Functional requirements for a safety management system. Every company should develop, implement, and maintain a safety management system which includes the following functional requirements. 1. A safety and environmental protection policy. 2. Instructions and procedures to ensure safe operation of ships and protection of the environment in compliance with relevant international and flag state legislation. 3. Define levels of authority and lines of communication between and amongst shore and shipboard personnel. 4. Procedures for reporting accidents and nonconformities with the provisions of this code. 5. Procedures to prepare for and respond to emergency situations. And 6. Procedures for internal audits and management reviews. 2. Safety and environmental protection policy. 2.1 The company should establish a safety and environmental protection policy which describes how the objectives given in paragraph 1.2 will be achieved. 2.2 The company should ensure that the policy is implemented and maintained at all levels of the organization, both ship-based and shore-based. 3. Company responsibilities and authority. 3.1. The entity who is responsible for the operation of the ship is other than the owner. The owner must report the full name and details of such entity to the administration. 3.2. The company should define and document the responsibility, authority, and interrelation of all personnel who manage, perform, and verify work relating to and affecting safety and pollution prevention. 3.3. The company is responsible for ensuring that adequate resources and shore-based support are provided to enable the designated person or persons to carry out their functions. Designated persons, or DP, or designated person ashore, or DPA. To ensure the safe operation of each ship and to a link between the company and those on board, every company should designate a person or persons ashore having direct access to the highest level of management. The responsibility and authority of a designated person or persons should include monitoring the safety and pollution prevention of the operation of each ship and ensuring that adequate resources and shore-based support are applied as required. 5. Master's responsibility and authority. 5.1. The company should clearly define and document the master's responsibility with regard to 1. Implementing the safety and environmental protection policy of the company. 2. Motivating the crew in the observation of that policy. 3. Issuing appropriate orders and instructions in a clear and simple manner. 4. Verifying the specified requirements are observed. And 5. Periodically reviewing the safety management system and reporting its deficiencies to the shore-based management. 5.2. The company should ensure that the safety management system operating on board the ship contains a clear statement emphasizing the master's authority. The company should establish in the safety management system that the master has the overriding authority and the responsibility to make decisions with respect to safety and pollution prevention and to request the company's assistance as may be necessary. 6. Resources and personnel. 6.1. The company should ensure that the master is 1. Properly qualified for command. 2. Fully conversant with the company's safety management system. And 3. Given the necessary support so that the master's duties can be safely performed. 6.2. The company should ensure that each ship is 1. Manned with qualified, certificated, and medically fit seafarers in accordance with national and international requirements. And 2. Appropriately manned in order to encompass all aspects of maintaining safe operations on board. 6.3. The company should establish procedures to ensure that new personnel and personnel transferred to new assignments related to safety and protection of the environment are given proper familiarization with their duties. Instructions, which are essential to be provided prior to sailing, should be identified, documented, and given. 6.4. The company should ensure all personnel involved in the company's safety management system have an adequate understanding of relevant rules, regulations, codes, and guidelines. 6.5. The company should establish and maintain procedures for identifying any training which may be required in support of the safety management system and ensure that such training is provided for all personnel concerned. 6.6. The company should establish procedures by which the ship's personnel receive relevant information on the safety management system in a working language or languages understood by them. 6.7. The company should ensure that the ship's personnel are able to communicate effectively in the execution of their duties related to the safety management system. 7. Shipboard operations. The company should establish procedures, plans, and instructions, including checklists as appropriate, for key shipboard operations concerning the safety of the personnel, ship, and protection of the environment. The various tasks should be defined and assigned to qualified personnel. 8. Emergency preparedness. 8.1. The company should identify potential emergency shipboard situations and establish procedures to respond to them. 8.2. The company should establish programs for drills and exercises to prepare for emergency actions. 8.3. The safety management system should provide for measures ensuring that the company's organization can respond at any time to hazards, accidents, and emergency situations involving its ships. 9. Reports and analysis of nonconformities, accidents, and hazardous occurrences. 9.1. The safety management system should include procedures ensuring that nonconformities, accidents, and hazardous situations are reported to the company, investigated, and analyzed with the objective of improving safety and pollution prevention. 9.2. The company should establish procedures for the implementation of corrective action, including measures intended to prevent recurrence. 10. Maintenance of the ship and equipment. 10.1. The company should establish procedures to ensure that the ship is maintained in conformity with the provisions of the relevant rules and regulations and with any additional requirements which may be established by the company. 10.2. In meeting these requirements, the company should ensure that 1. Inspections are held at appropriate intervals. 2. Any nonconformity is reported with its possible cause if known. 3. Appropriate corrective action is taken. And 4. Record of these activities are maintained. 10.3. The company should carry out internal safety audits on board and ashore at intervals not exceeding 12 months to verify whether safety and pollution prevention activities comply with the safety management system. In exceptional circumstances, this interval may be exceeded by not more than 3 months. 10.4. The inspections mentioned in 10.2, as well as the measures referred to in 10.3, should be integrated into the ship's operational maintenance routine. 11. Documentation. 11.1. The company should establish and maintain procedures to control all documents and data which are relevant to the safety management system. 11.2. The company should ensure that 1. Valid documents are available at all relevant locations. 2. Changes to documents are reviewed and approved by authorized personnel. And 3. Obsolete documents are promptly removed. 11.3. The documents used to describe and implement the safety management system may be referred to as the Safety Management Manual. Documentation should be kept in a form that the company considers most effective. Each ship should carry on board all documentation relevant to that ship. 12. Company verification, review, and evaluation. 12.1. The company should carry out internal safety audits on board and ashore at intervals not exceeding 12 months to verify whether safety and pollution prevention activities comply with the safety management system. In exceptional circumstances, This interval may be exceeded by not more than 3 months. 12.2. The company should periodically verify whether all those undertaking delegated ISM-related tasks are acting in conformity with the company's responsibilities under the code. 12.3. The company should periodically evaluate effectiveness of the safety management system in accordance with procedures established by the company. 12.4. The audits and possible corrective actions should be carried out in accordance with documented procedures. 12.5. Personnel carrying out audits should be independent of the areas being audited unless this is impracticable due to the size and the nature of the company. 12.6. The results of the audits and reviews should be brought to the attention of all personnel, the efficiency of and when needed reviewed. 12.7. The management personnel responsible for the area involved should take timely corrective action on deficiencies found. Part B. Certification and verification. 13. Certification and periodical verification. 13.1. The ship should be operated by a company which has been issued with a document of compliance or with an interim document of compliance. 13.2. The document of compliance should be issued by the administration, by an organization recognized by the administration, or at the request of the administration by another contracting government to any company complying with code. 13.3. The document of compliance is only valid for the ship types. 13.4. The validity of a document of compliance should be subject to annual verification within 3 months before or after the anniversary date. 13.5. The document of compliance should be withdrawn by the administration when the annual verification required in paragraph 13.4 is not requested or if there is evidence of major nonconformities with this code. 13.5.1. All associated safety management certificates and/or interim safety management certificates should also be withdrawn if a document of compliance is withdrawn. 13.6. A copy of the document of compliance should be placed on board. 13.7. The safety management certificate should be issued to a ship for a period which should not exceed 5 years by the administration. The safety management certificate should be issued after verifying that the company and its shipboard management operate in accordance with the approved safety management system. Such a certificate should be accepted as evidence that the ship is complying with the requirements of this code. 13.8. The validity of the safety management certificate should be subject to at least one intermediate verification by the administration. If only one intermediate verification is to be carried out and the period of validity of the SMC is 5 years, it should take place between the 2nd and 3rd anniversary dates of the SMC. 13.9. In addition to the requirements of paragraph 13.5.1, the safety management certificate should be withdrawn by the administration when the intermediate verification required in paragraph 13.8 is not requested or if there is evidence of major nonconformity with this code. 13.10. Notwithstanding. 13.10. Notwithstanding the requirements of paragraphs 13.2 and 13.7, when the renewal verification is completed within 3 months before the expiry date of the existing document of compliance or safety management certificate, The new document of compliance or the new safety management certificate should be valid from the date of completion of the renewal verification for a period not exceeding 5 years from the date of expiry of the existing document of compliance or safety management certificate. 13.11. When the renewal verification is completed more than 3 months before the expiry date of the existing document of compliance or safety management certificate, the new document of compliance or safety management certificate should be valid from the date of completion of the renewal verification for a period not exceeding 5 years from the date of completion of the renewal verification. 13.12. When the renewal verification is completed after the expiry date of the existing safety management certificate, the new safety management certificate should be valid from the date of completion of the renewal verification to a date not exceeding 5 years from the date of expiry of the existing safety management certificate. 13.13. If a renewal verification has been completed and a new safety management certificate cannot be issued or placed on board the ship before the expiry date of the existing certificate, the administration or organization recognized by the administration may endorse the existing certificate, and such a certificate should be accepted as valid for a further period which should not exceed 5 months from the expiry date. 13.14. If a ship at the time when a safety management certificate expires is not in a port in which it is to be verified, the administration may extend the period of validity of the safety management certificate, but this extension should be granted only for the purpose of allowing the ship to complete its voyage to the port in which it is to be verified, and then only in cases where it appears proper and reasonable to do so. No safety management certificate should be extended for a period of longer than 3 months, and the ship to which an extension is granted should not, on its arrival in the port in which it is to be verified, be entitled by virtue of such extension to leave that port without having a new safety management certificate. When the renewal verification is completed, the new safety management certificate should be valid to a date not exceeding 5 years from the expiry date of the existing safety management certificate before the extension was granted. 14. Interim certification. 14.1. An interim document of compliance may be issued to facilitate initial implementation of this code when 1. A company is newly established, or 2. New ship types are to be added to an existing document of compliance. 14.2. An interim safety management certificate may be issued 1. To new ships on delivery, 2. When a company takes on responsibility for the operation of a ship which is new to the company, or 3. When a ship changes flag. 15. Verification. 15.1. All verifications required by the provisions of this code should be carried out in accordance with procedures acceptable to the administration, taking into account the guidelines developed by the organization. 16. Forms of certificates. This is a sample of a safety management certificate.